Sebastian! Stop this madness. The Chantry cannot condone revenge, Sebastian.
It is my right, my duty, to show these assassins there is nowhere in the Free Marches to hide.
This is murder.
No. What happened to my family was murder.
So, will anyone smite me if I tell you I killed the men who wronged your family?
Excuse me, who are... My post to the Chanter's Board? Did Her Grace let that stay? I thought for sure no one even read, but you say you've killed them. You have my eternal gratitude, Sirrah. It is comforting to think my parents might now rest easily in their graves.
Who sent these mercenaries?
My family has ruled Starkhaven for 6 generations. We have enemies, but none who would identify themselves openly. A distant cousin of mine is claiming rulership now, but he is a bit simple. He can be no more than a pawn in this plot.
Surely you have a guess as to who was behind it.
My parents were always prudent in how they handled our nobles. They did not allow rivalries or resentments to flourish. The attack must have come from outside. Kirkwall is our largest trading partner. I came back here to find support for my claim, and perhaps for a clue as to who is behind this foul deed.
Why didn't your family's enemies hunt you down as well?
That's why I took the offensive. Thanks to you, those Flint Company assassins are no longer a danger. I'm the last of my line. Unless I survive, my family will have no justice.
Who are you exactly?
I am Sebastian Vael, Prince of Starkhaven. Her Grace might prefer I introduce myself as a brother in the Chantry, but I could not stay after what happened to my family.
Isn't that where the Circle Tower just burned down?
Yes. I believe that was part of the same strike against my family. In one instant, we lost our mages, our Templars, everyone my parents used to call on for protection.
Your parents probably don't care much at this point, but I hope you sleep a bit easier.
Yes, I hope I will. Thank you. Consider this in advance. When I have secured my lands again, you will be paid royally. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must meet with the Viscount and petition him for aid to a fellow city. I thought it would end here. That young lady, Hawke, she decimated Flint Company. No survivors. Yet, now that I know who sent them, it's harder to see their deaths as justice.
Death is never justice.
Hawke? We were just talking about you.
Saying good things, I hope.
Many people in Kirkwall have good things to say about you.
I've learned who hired Flint Company. The Harrimans, a noble family of Kirkwall. They were my parents' allies. It's hard to believe they betrayed us like this.
Tell me about this family.
Lord Harriman used to be a good man, but he became rather strange in his dotage. He died some years back. His daughter took over the family, Lady Johanne Harriman. They say she's become quite reclusive of late.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Money? Power? It's hard to say. Lady Harriman was always jealous of my family for being royalty when hers were mere nobility. But I can't imagine that pushing her into outright murder.
This is why the cycle of violence never gets broken.
You jest, but that's the truth. Give this up, Sebastian. Dedicate yourself to the Chantry as you swore.
I must speak with Lady Harriman and find out what drove her to this madness. But I am the last of my line. I should not go alone and make myself a target.
Why is everyone looking at me?
If this allows Sebastian to make peace, it is worth doing. You've taken on lesser causes.
Please. I have no one else to turn to. If you like, I can travel with you until you confront Lady Harriman. Otherwise, you can always find me here in the Chantry.
More! You lazy son of a bitch! What's taking so long?
Flora?
Why does no one in this house care what I want? More wine, or I swear I will drown you in the dregs.
She doesn't even see us. This is no normal wine.
More logs. It must be molten. You, more coins. I want every scrap of gold in this house.
Please, Monsieur!
There's nothing to fear. You'll be beautiful. Pour it over her.
Don't! You'll kill her! He can't hear me.
Perhaps I should be the one.
We must end this madness.
Oh! Lower! Lower!
I beg your pardon, Hawke. I did not mean to expose you to such things.
No apologies necessary.
No! The feather! Use the feather! Where have you been all my life? Today, I am more than a man. Come, felicitate me.
That's a great line. I should use that. Oh, I could get it embroidered on my blouse.
He has no idea we're here. I've known Ruxton Harriman my whole life. He's a complete prude.
That's my kind of prude.
Where's your brother? Let's ask him to join us.
Turn back. There is nothing here for you.
Odd. When we watched you being a drunken ass, you ignored us completely.
You shall not enter.
You must give me more. Starkhaven will not submit. I put that idiot Goran Vael into the prince's seat, but the other families won't heed him. I must marry him to Flora and solidify our hold. But I need more power.
I've given you much. Your desires run deep. You've already traded your husband and your children. What more can you offer?
At the Blooming Rose, 50 silver's standard for a whore.
You'll hardly find my services standard.
Who is this? Who are you? How did you get here? Sebastian!
You were my mother's friend. How could you murder her?
Such an ugly word. I prefer remove the only obstacle between her and her dreams.
This was your idea.
I could create such desires if I wished. But it's far easier to nurture those that already exist. The desire for power is easy to find. You and your friend both possess it, do you not? You both wish to rise.
I will hear no more from you.
Sebastian, I am so sorry is such an inadequate word. When I think what Mother made us do, what those creatures made us do.
We were friends, Flora.
It was like a cloud came down on me. All I could feel or think was what the demon allowed.
Did your mother order the attack on Sebastian's family?
She did. You know Mother, Sebastian. She was always jealous of your parents. The demon twisted that, until it was all she could think of. She was determined to seize Starkhaven for herself.
Was your mother a mage? How did she find this demon?
We've never had magic in our line. Perhaps that made Mother too confident. She thought she could deal with the demon and not fall prey to it. Those ruins there were unearthed when we expanded the house. Mother found the demon inside. I think she had signed her bargain before we even knew.
Don't blame your mother. The Desire Demon made this happen.
I doubt many people will be so forgiving. If it takes every last coin my family owns, I will make reparations to everyone we've wronged. Starting with you, Sebastian. We weren't the only ones vying for Starkhaven. If you face more opposition, you have my support.
It will not make up for what happened.
No, that's true.
I'll tell you when I need you. I had hoped prayer might cleanse me of the Desire Demon's touch, but I still hear her voice so clearly. I feel like I've bathed in filth that will never come off.
Wash behind the ears. Evil usually gets stuck there.
The demon didn't lie. I used to be bitterly jealous of my brother. I wanted to be prince. Now everything he had is mine. And he lies in ashes. I keep asking myself, do I want this because it's right? Or simply to have what I never thought I could?
Aren't you your parents' heir?
I'm the youngest son of 3. My parents were rather traditional. They wanted the heir and the spare, and I was left in the cold. They put me in the Chantry to prevent my competing with my brothers.
You seem very dedicated to the Chantry. You were put there against your will?
At first. But it was the best thing that could have happened. I was a wild boy, a shame to my family. The Chantry made me a man. It's odd. When I wanted to rule, I would have been terrible at it. Now that I might be decent, I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
It's the wisdom not to want power that lets you use it wisely.
You didn't feel what that demon stirred in me. It cannot be right to lead any army to Starkhaven with such doubt in my heart. I owe you more than I can say, Hawke. I will offer my service to you here before I move on.
I can think of a few services for you to perform.
What? Why are you smiling like... Oh. Oh my. That's not what I meant. I think I need to pray. A lot.
I think this is yours.
My grandfather's bow, but where did you get it?
One of the Flint Company men did some looting. I figured I'd return the favor.
Thank you. It's hard to mourn the loss of a thing while my family lies dead. But I did think of it.
What's the story behind that bow?
As the youngest son, it was my place to lead Starkhaven's militia. But I never had a talent for swordplay. Too much getting hit. My grandfather said the bow is the wise man's weapon. You can defend your city without opening its gates. Grandfather said the day I could pull the string on his bow, it would be mine.
Then why didn't you have it with you?
I was 13 when my grandfather made me that promise. I would rise at dawn to practice my shots until I could hit the eye slit of a helmet from the top of the ramparts. But my parents pledged me to the Chantry before I could show him.
Were you and your grandfather close?
He was a man of the world, Prince of Starkhaven. But he had the most unshakable faith in the Maker. When my parents threatened to pledge me to the Chantry, he told me he'd gladly trade his title for a life of contemplation. The Maker ordained a place for each of us, I remember him saying. We have only to serve.
I'm sorry I never got a chance to meet them. To save them.
I know. You're a true friend, Hawke. You brought me this to remember and honor them. But if I could bring back our lowest servant by snapping it in half, I'd do it without regrets. Your hound is a mark of nobility in Ferelden, is he not? I have heard that gaining a Mabari's loyalty is considered the ultimate proof of character there.
That's him. My own living, breathing, slobbering status symbol.
A dog cares nothing for worldly power. The Maker would like to see us learn from them.
Don't let it go to your head.
I'm giving it all up. I made a vow to the Chantry, and it was wrong to turn my back.
Sebastian, listen to yourself. You're as impulsive now as the day you turned away from us. Do you think the Maker wants another rashly spoken vow that you'll abandon when the next passion takes you?
I will not...
This is your life, child. Don't spend it being blown about like a weather vane. But here's Hawke. Maybe you can talk some sense into him.
I don't think sense is really my strong suit.
How long has she spent telling me to return to the Chantry, and now that I want to, she won't take me? It was wrong for me to break my oath to the Chantry. I've turned against the Maker. And for what? Why would I want to rule Starkhaven and deal with jackals like Lady Harriman for the rest of my life?
Nobody tells a prince what to do. Or who to do it with.
Hawke, you... Don't think I'm not tempted, but I can't. I knelt and swore before the Maker that I would take no bride but Andraste.
I'm just talking about two people. One night and forgetting all your troubles.
If I broke my vows to be with you, I wouldn't be worthy of you. I already have enough sins to atone for.
You're wise to stay here. No one trusts a man who breaks his oath.
I cannot return to Starkhaven and subject my people to war without a clear sign that it's the Maker's will. Do you never intend to give a public answer, Your Grace?
What have I been asked?
About the mages. You could calm this fire if you stepped forward.
The Chantry's teachings are clear. Those who turn against them would not listen more to me than to Andraste.
Then you do favor the Templars, Your Grace?
I favor peace, which is not the goal of either side, I'm afraid. I did not expect things to deteriorate so fast. I thought after the Canary, no one would wish for more violence. It has drawn more attention than I would like. Sebastian, if I can ask...
Anything, Your Grace.
And the champion, too, if you will?
I am your humble servant.
You honor me. The Divine is concerned about the situation here. She does not want to see the Free Marches become another Imperium. She has sent an agent to assess the danger. Meet with her, please. Tell her drastic measures won't be required.
I don't want to see the Divine's armies march against Kirkwall.
Could we keep the Exalted marching to a minimum? I keep all my stuff in Kirkwall.
Surely the Divine wouldn't treat the whole city as enemies.
She is concerned. It is never wise to draw the concern of the powerful.
She is the voice of Andraste. She cannot turn the might of the Chantry against the innocent due to proximity.
Were no innocents harmed in the Exalted marches? She will do her best, Sebastian. But she must act first to protect the faith.
What can you tell me about this servant of the Divine?
I was not told her real name. Only to call her Sister Nightingale. She is said to be the Divine's left hand, sent to do work that might blacken the Divine's name.
What argument would convince her?
The Divine has heard my protests already. I must trust your own powers of persuasion now.
This cannot wait.
Thank you. We cannot allow this ridiculous mage rebellion to turn into holy war.
The agent, Sister Nightingale, will be waiting in the Viscount's throne room tonight. She wishes to remain unseen. The room has been sealed since the Canary incident. It may be difficult to get in without attracting attention.
So, even the Divine fears us now. She should. Kill the spies! That's
The Resolutionists. I might have known they would be part of this.
Are you Sister Nightingale?
I am. Or you may call me Liliana. The Divine sent me to investigate the possibility of a rebellion here in Kirkwall. I have some experience in unconventional situations.
The Liliana? Who accompanied the hero of Ferelden to slay the Archdemon?
Ah, I see it will be harder to remain anonymous so near the Ferelden border. Yes, I knew the hero of Ferelden. Perhaps you have heard the songs I wrote of our time together. But that was many years ago. I am working for the Divine now, in Orlais. I had not thought to return to this part of Thedas.
Who are the Resolutionists?
An offshoot of a fraternity within the Circle of Magi.
Supported by the Magisters.
There's no proof of that.
I bet a lot of mages think they'd enjoy Tevinter's freedoms, and completely forget that few ever achieve the power to enjoy them.
There have always been factions that support freedom from the Chantry, and the abolition of the Circle. We have tolerated them. But the Resolutionists have become violent. They are likely behind the unrest here.
I appreciate you stepping in back there.
Of course. They mistook you for me, so they must know I am in Kirkwall. The Divine has long suspected that Kirkwall's problems were spurred by an outside group. This attack proves she is right.
Are you saying you set this whole thing up?
I let word slip that an agent of the Divine was coming to investigate the mage troubles. It is how they chose to react which condemns them.
Will the Divine send soldiers?
Divine Justinia takes the situation here very seriously. She believes it is the worst threat to Thedas since the Cunara invaded.
A handful of apostates? How can that possibly...
The whole world is watching Kirkwall. If it falls to magic, none of us are safe. Tell Elthina to leave. There is refuge for her at the Grand Cathedral in Orlais. She will not be safe here.
What would you say to an exciting trip to Orlais? I hear the Grand Cathedral's lovely this time of year.
What?
You were right. The Divine will be taking action against Kirkwall, though the sister didn't say what. You must take the holy relics from the Chantry and leave for safety.
Sebastian, I'm surprised at you. Andraste would not thank me for saving a few dusty finger bones and my own skin at the cost of people's lives.
You keep dead people here?
The Kirkwall Chantry has guarded the remains of the martyr Devrina for 800 years. They must be protected.
When I became Grand Cleric, I took a vow to the people of Kirkwall and the Free Marches. I will not leave my flock.
Would you let yourself die?
There is no greater devotion than to lay one's life at the Maker's feet. There is no better death than to take the blow for another.
Sister Nightingale took a great risk to warn you. Don't be rash.
Please, Your Grace. Sister Nightingale thinks there will be war.
Then, I must make peace. Settle yourself, Sebastian. I'm in no personal danger. I am Grand Cleric. Who would dare attack me?
If you will not shield yourself, then I will be your shield. You will come through this safely by the Maker's name. I swear it. If Althena won't leave Kirkwall, neither will I. I can't abandon her when the Divine's own agent warned her away.
And I thought maybe I was the one you wanted to protect.
You are quite capable of fending off a battalion of mages on your own, Hawke. But if these Maleficarum rebel against the Knight Commander, Althena will put herself between them and be torn apart. I must try to make her see reason. This cannot end well. Hawke should do it. Kirkwall needs a Viscount.
Have you asked her if she even wants that?
I watched my parents in Starkhaven. When times are good, the city rules itself. Years could pass and no one would notice who's prince. But when there's famine, when there's war, people look to their leaders. Who does Kirkwall have beyond Hawke?
This is probably a conversation for the two of you to have.
You want me to be Viscount?
Andraste said the Maker is king in the heavens, but it is the kings of Thedas who must recreate his worldly glory. I keep thinking about that. Who better serves the Maker? A brother of the faith, or a prince who can sway a whole city?
You'll never know what the right choice is. Might as well just make one.
Althena is risking her life by not deserting her flock. Could I do the same? It's been 15 years since I lived in Starkhaven. The people there are only a memory to me. Kirkwall, the Chantry, that's real. That's where I belong.
Starkhaven's loss.
I can't say you didn't factor into my decision. But if I'm to stay in the Chantry, you mean the world to me, Hawke. I couldn't have gotten through this time without you. Join me in the Chantry. Pledge yourself to the Maker. We can serve him together, with a chaste marriage in his eyes.
I would gladly swear my vows beside you.
I'll speak to Her Grace about accepting you as a sister in faith. She'll recognize the purity of our love. I promise you, nothing will come between us.
Champion, thank the Maker you've come.
What's happened?
Knight Commander Meredith and the First Enchanter got into a terrible argument. The First Enchanter stormed off to bring the matter before the Grand Cleric, but Meredith gave chase. I fear there will be blood.
Wonderful. Take me to them.
I will have the tower searched, top to bottom.
You cannot do that! You have no right!
I have every right. You are harboring blood mages, and I intend to root them out before they infect this city.
Blood magic? Where do you not see blood magic? My people cannot sneeze without you accusing them of corruption.
Do not trifle with me, mage. My patience is at an end.
A wonder that I never saw it begin.
The way you two carry on, people will talk.
Well, look who decided to show up.
Good, you found us.
The champion will not stop me. The people deserve to know just what you've done.
What I have done is protect the people of this city time and again. What I have done is protect you mages from your curse and your own stupidity. And I will not stop doing it. I will not lower our guard. I dare not.
Is there any truth to what she's saying?
These are only her latest accusations, nothing more. And what if she does not find what she's looking for? How much further will she go to root out something that isn't there?
The champion knows better than anyone how deep the Circle's corruption goes. I must find the source.
You both set quite the example for your people. You know that?
What other option do we have? Tell me, champion, that you have not seen with your own eyes what they can do. Heard the lies of mages that seek power.
I have seen that. Many times over.
And we must fight such evil, but you cannot assume it exists in us all.
I know, and it breaks my heart to do it. But we must be vigilant. If you cannot tell me another way, do not brand me a tyrant.
This is getting us nowhere. Grand Cleric Athena will put a stop to this.
You will not bring her grace into this.
The Grand Cleric cannot help you.
Explain yourself, mage.
I will not stand by and watch you treat all mages like criminal, while those who would lead us bow to their Templar jailers.
How dare you speak to me?
The Circle has failed us, Orsino. Even you should be able to see that. The time has come to act. There can be no half measures.
Anders, what have you done?
There can be no turning back.
Have mercy.
There can be no peace.
Athena, no! Make her, no! She was your most faithful, your most beloved. Why didn't she listen to me? Blessed be the souls of the faithful that they ascend to your right hand.
Why? Why would you do such a thing?
I removed the chance of compromise, because there is no compromise.
The Grand Cleric has been slain by magic. The Chantry destroyed. As Knight Commander of Kirkwall, I hereby invoke the right of annulment. Every mage in the Circle is to be executed, immediately!
The Circle didn't even do this! Champion, you can't let her! Help us stop this madness!
And I call on you to keep order. After what just occurred, you cannot deny what must be done.
Why are we debating the right of annulment when the monster who did this is right here? I swear to you, I will kill him.
It can't be stopped now. You have to choose.
I could have stopped you.
No. This had to happen. The Circle is an injustice. In many places beyond Kirkwall. The world needs to see.
Athena is not the Circle. She was a good woman, and you murdered her!
You fool! You've doomed us all!
We were already doomed. A quick death now or a slow one later. I'd rather die fighting.
You're a murderer. The Grand Cleric, the mages, their blood is on your hands.
I know.
It doesn't matter. Even if I wished to, I could not stay my hand. The people will demand blood.
I guess you've got yourself a champion.
Your first act must be to execute this traitor.
I knew you would see reason.
She is a monster. If you help her, you become one as well.
It's unfortunate, but it's the only way.
The mages cannot hide behind their rights when they endanger so many.
Crushing the rebels, are we? How dare they wish for freedom?
Champion, you have to know Meredith will turn against you as well.
Sorry, but you're on your own.
Very wise.
Are you sure about this? You know she's going to murder people whose only crime was being born a mage.
And has condemned the Circle already. The Grand Cleric was beloved by the entire city. Either the Templars annul the Circle, or the citizens of Kirkwall will riot and murder the mages themselves. All we can do now is try to keep casualties to a minimum.
I suppose you're right. This decision was taken out of our hands.
Stop him! I will warn the others!
Gather our forces! We will deal with this. So, it begins. I must gather my forces at the gallows. Meet me there as soon as you can, champion. I'll leave this murderer for you to deal with. He's your companion. Do as you see fit.
There's nothing you can say that I haven't already said to myself. I took a spirit into my soul and changed myself forever to achieve this. This is the justice all mages have awaited.
Did that spirit tell you to do this?
No. When we merged, he ceased to be. We are one now. I can no more ignore the injustice of the Circle than he could.
So you start a massacre to prove a point?
I'm not proving a point. I'm changing a world. You've never been part of the Circle. I have. The people fear what we can do. But to use that fear to bludgeon us into submission is wrong. And they do it with our blessing.
And if I pay for that with my life, then I pay. Perhaps then justice would at least be free.
Opinions?
If I'd been in that chantry today, would you be waffling? You know what must be done.
Bold plan. Well, I thought so.
He wants to die. Kill him and be done with it.
Belief is no excuse. Sincerity does not justify this.
He should come with us. Do what he can to put things right.
I think I'm sick of mages and Templars.
Whatever you do, just do it.
You have to pay for what you've done.
I know. The sooner I die, the sooner my name lives on to inspire generations.
It will never be enough, but it's a start.
How invigorating.
We'd all best get to the gallows, and quick. It's going to be quite a show.
There you are! There is no escape!
Leave me alone. I never asked for any of this.
The law is clear, Mage. We cannot take the risk.
Keep away from me. I'm warning you.
Kill it! Kill it now! Quickly! Quickly!
First Enchanter!
Stay back! I don't want to fight you!
And here you are!
Let us speak, Meredith, before this battle destroys the city you claim to protect!
I will entertain a surrender, nothing more. Speak if you have something to say.
Revoke the right of annulment, Meredith, before this goes too far. Imprison us if you must. Search the tower. I will even help you. But do not kill us all for an act we did not commit.
The Grand Cleric is dead, killed by a mage. The people will demand retribution, and I will give it to them. Your offer is commendable, Orsino, but it comes too late.
We can still prevent this, before you both tear Kirkwall apart.
It is already torn apart. We cannot divert from our path.
So what is it to be, Meredith? Do we fight here?
Go. Prepare your people. The rest of the Order is already crossing the harbor.
This isn't over.
Let me tell you what is about to happen. We have the unenviable task of entering the gallows and eliminating every mage we find within. You must harden your heart. The magic within them is a disease that, if left unchecked, will spread and fester. We will do what we must. Maker have mercy on their souls. Prepare for the attack. Let me know when you are ready, champion.
If Althena had stood firm behind the Knight Commander, this wouldn't have happened. There are times when even the best intentions lead to the void.
Their rebellion will stop here.
I would not speak ill of the dead, but I wish Althena had understood that need. These mages will not stop until they overthrow the Chantry. There was never peace to be made with them. You're an amazing woman, Hawke. Had we met in different times... But let's not think on that now. The Maker favors us in this fight. He must, for we defend against his enemies. If we fall here, may we meet again at his side.
I want to help as well, even if I'm not fighting at your side.
Meryl, attack from a distance. Stay out of the fight as much as you can.
I will.
Aveline, charge in whenever you see an opening.
Very well.
Varric, stay out of sight, and use your crossbow.
Bianca's ready and willing.
Carver, watch and keep us from being overwhelmed.
Got it.
I'm no Templar. I'm not sure every step leads me closer to the Maker. But I know trouble. And this is it. I can't say for certain that going in there is right. But I know it's needed right now. When home is on the line. Maybe that's enough.
Champion, the attack is about to begin. Break it down!
Here they come! Stop them! Mercy, we beg you. Do whatever you want with us, but let us live!
No! This circle is beyond redemption.
Knight Commander, surely the right of annulment requires something more...
It requires my word, Cullen. Do as I've commanded.
Champion, will you not defend us? Must we all be slaughtered for the actions of a few?
They've already surrendered. Killing them now is just petty.
Listen to the champion.
Just as I suspected all along.
Willing sacrifices! Men and women who would have died at your hands anyhow. The irony is that until this very moment, I have never used blood magic.
Do you take me for a fool? One does not summon such a ritual from thin air.
The right belonged to Quentin, a man the champion is familiar with. I put aside his research as too dangerous. But things have changed.
You were working with that murderer.
I knew about him. I kept his existence secret because I didn't want to give Meredith more ammunition against us. I see now I needn't have bothered.
The Maker has guided us here to end your evil, Orsino.
The Maker has guided you all to your deaths!
It is over. I will make sure the keep is secure. Meet me in the courtyard, champion. Look at all this. Magic is a cancer in the heart of our land, just as it was in the time of Andraste. And like her, we are left with no choice but to purify it with fire and blood.
You almost sound as if you're happy to do it.
Happy? I would prefer we lived in a world without such sickness, where such madness is unnecessary. But we do not. Even this battle is not yet over. I am beginning to wonder just how large your part in all this actually was. An apostate come into our city, gathering power and influence. A sudden hero of the people. How can I trust that the mighty champion of Kirkwall is not a worse threat to this city than the Circle?
If you want to see a threat to this city, look in the mirror.
Just the sort of misdirection I would expect from you. The people of Kirkwall will mourn your loss, but I will tell them you died battling the mages. A righteous cause.
Knight Commander, I thought we intended to arrest the champion.
You will do as I command, Cullen.
No. I defended you when Thrask started whispering you were mad, but this is too far.
I will not allow insubordination. We must stay true to our path. You recognize it, do you not? Your lyrium, taken from the deep roads. The dwarf charged a great deal for his prize.
The idol poisoned Bartran's mind in the end.
He was weak, whereas I am not. All of you! I want her dead!
Enough! This is not what the Order stands for. Knight Commander, step down. I relieve you of your command.
My own Knight Captain falls prey to the influence of blood magic. You all have. You're all weak. Allowing the mages to control your minds, to turn you against me. But I don't need any of you. I will protect this city myself.
You'll have to go through me. And me.
Traitors! I'll have both your heads. Blessed are those who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter! Maker, your servant begs you for the strength to defeat this evil! I will not be defeated! Maker, aid your humble servant!
Word of the slaughter spread quickly. The champion's name became a rallying cry for all mages, a reminder of their brutal oppression. She had shown not only what the Templars were willing to do, but that they could be defied. The circles rose up and set the world on fire. Here at home, the city all but got down on its hands and knees and begged the champion to rule. As for the rest of us, eventually we all left the champion's side for one reason or another. You still hear the stories, of course. With each telling they grow, even if, at the core, remains the truth. A new legend had been born. So that's it. That's the whole story.
Then Meredith turned on the champion. She was to blame.
Or that damned idol was. Or Anders. Take your pick.
Even so, had the champion not been there...
Then I suppose Meredith would be ruling the city still.
But the champion is not in Kirkwall any longer.
So I hear. Isn't it strange how quickly fortunes change?
I see.
So how is hearing all this going to help? You've already lost all the circles. In fact, haven't the Templars rebelled as well? I thought you decided to abandon the Chantry to hunt the mages.
Not all of us desire war, Varric. Please, if you know where the champion is, you must tell me. She is a hero. A woman that the Templars respect. Someone who was there at the beginning. The champion could stop this madness before it's too late. She may be the only one who can.
Is that what this is all about? In that case, I wish I could help you.
Just tell me one thing, then. Is the champion dead?
Oh, I doubt that.
Then you are free to go, Varric. May the Maker watch over you during the dark times ahead of us.
Same to you, Seeker. Same to you.
So, did you...
Gone. Just like the Warden.
That is no coincidence.
So, do we proceed with the original plan? Or keep looking?
It is in the Maker's hands now. We put our faith in him.
My baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to